and Facebook. All right, there we are. We're live. YouTube, Facebook, recording. Remember, you call into the show. That is 510 463 1145. 510 463 1145. And you can call and be on the podcast. I put the podcast out last week. Square Pie guys, I'm coming down. Coming up, actually. I'm in Palm Springs right now. So down south on a personal chef job. And out here chilling for the next month. I'm doing Coachella through Yangban. So it's going to be fun. Contracted for that. We're out there. We're cooking wings. We're trying to cook 1,000 wings a day, from what I hear. I might be divulging too much information there, but it's all right. I haven't signed any NDAs, so no one's coming at me. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that, man. Pizza Man 420. I'll hit you up when I'm back up in the Bay, and we can get at it, get a podcast going, you know. Out here in the desert, it's fucking dry. My lips are dry. You guys ever seen Good, Bad, and the Ugly? When his lips are dry and they're all crusty. You ever seen people out and about, actually, when their lips are really crusty? And then you can see the shit looks like fleur de sel on their lips when it's dry. And you just kind of want to bite it off their lips yourself. But you don't, because that's disgusting. And why the fuck would you do that? What up, Scrandle? Chef up at Red in... Remind me of where that's at in New York. Rochester? Is it in Rochester, New York? You should call into the show, man. 510-510-463. One more time. 510-463-1145. Best way to watch it is on YouTube or Facebook. Best way. Instagram. You can hear me now, but if I get a phone call, you won't be able to hear it. All right, so that's when you got to get your ass over there and see that. A lot of shit going down this week. I put a little short out about my man over at Mago, Chef Lieberman. He was talking about working in kitchens where there's a lot of screaming. I've been in kitchens where there's a lot of screaming, and let me tell you what, man, nothing gets shit done. Like a little bit of fire in the voice. You know what I mean? Not saying that's the best way to manage, because it's not. But, you know, when you're watching a football game or you're watching a basketball game, I think the coach is on the sidelines just whispering shit to his team, like, hey, man, go ahead and make that shot if you want to. You know? No, he's like, put the fucking ball in the basket and whatever the fuck else they're yelling. I'm not really a lip reader, which I hear is a good technique to being able to catch what the other side is saying. Or so I hear. I don't watch sports. So the Kitchen Gailey, who has a podcast himself, offered his 4 cents, if you will. He said, let's see what he say. He said, interesting discussion here, praising masochistic cooks and thriving on what could be deemed as toxic kitchen culture. Something I chat about on my pod often, where I often don't see, a lot of offens, the positive side of the convo, but often, hear the trauma. Can't wait to listen to the whole episode. Keep thriving. See, I love that. Stated his problem with the real, and then said, let me see the whole conversation before I go ahead and say anything, make my opinion about it. I think that's the way you got to go. You got to read it, take it back, think about it, formulate your opinion, bring that opinion to the table, put it up for discussion. There are holes in what I think, because a lot of time people just like what they think. A lot of times I think I like what I think I like. I think. Getting off topic there. Anyways, we're out here. And then he said, then I responded, I was like, hey, man, it's all good. Thank you for your opinion. And, I let him know that the ass kickings that I've received in life have helped me learn a lot of lessons that I wouldn't have learned. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I need an ass whipping to learn the lessons that I need to learn. You know, I don't know. I'm just here on this spinning rock trying to figure it out. The CEO of James Beard followed me. That's a nice thing that happened this week. So that felt good that she did that. I'm trying to look up her shit right now. Her Instagram. Not to offend anybody out here. Fucking get a follow and then get an unfollow real quick right after that. You know what I mean? Hey. So Claire Reichenbach of James Beard followed me on IG, and I found an article here. Where the fuck? Can't scroll down on this bitch, Mike. Meet Claire. Previous post. Oh, I see. You gotta do it that way. All right, it's not letting me see the shit, but anyways, Claire Reichenbach, shout out to you, CEO of James Beard. Would love to talk to you if you ever had a chance. If you're ever out in Oakland, I would love to host James Beard. That would be fun. But again, I got to get my skills up. I can't just be out here choking on the mic on stage, not knowing what to talk about. Today I saw a ad for a hotel that was looking for a chef. And they were talking about the fact that they're sustainable people and they practice sustainably and this and that. And then they proceeded to tell about a dish that they use sous vide for. I think sous vide cooking needs to go away. I think it's a crutch for a kitchen. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, you could sous vide a bunch of shit and it stays for longer shelf life wise, right? But for me, it makes proteins, the texture of proteins, weird. Okay. If you only teach a cook to cook out of a plastic bag, he will never know how to cook a piece of meat another way, right? It'll be always fucking taking them out of the bag and searing it and serving it. And then he's like, I could cook medium rare meat, you know. Now you give him something on the bone, he can't do it. She can't do it, right? They can't do it. So trying to figure out here what the best way to train is in the future. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. But I gotta take that back. It is the worst. Man, these motherfuckers out here using I used to do sous vide poussin, right? Little baby birds that we cooked in bread. All right, so these little boules of sourdough. We would make bread, we'd make the sourdough. Then we would proof it. While it was proofing, we would take this young little bird, a 6-week little chicken, and truss it, right? Truss its little body. That way we could put it inside of the bread, and then we would proof them together. And the whole idea was that chicken flavored the bread flavored the chicken, baked it together. Bread was beautiful, fluffy, steamed the bird all the way through. And you cannot possibly recreate that whole chicken wise for 60 tables perfectly. Not that bread. Maybe you could do it on croute, like a dough, salt dough, definitely. But not that sourdough bread. So what we would do was we would cook one bird or two birds, and that would be the show bird. And that was what we would take out to the dining room to show everyone in the dining room what we were doing. With the poussin, hey, this is a bird in the bread. And then you'd have to obviously dress that up a little bit. But sometimes the show, we called it the show, chicken show, wouldn't be good, right? Either the skin would break, or there's a little pocket in the bread and the fucking thing gets toasted, or the bread didn't proof properly and it's completely hollow inside. Whatever. It didn't work out. Then you got that other bread from the day before. That's perfect, but the chicken is dry. Okay? Sometimes, and I'm making a confession right here, sometimes I would take that little young bird and I would just truss another one and steam it all the way through, rinse that bitch off, and stick it in the bread like I done baked that bitch in there. Okay? Sometimes you just had to do it. It's all for the show. And when people are paying $350 to $450 a meal, you need to deliver. You have no fucking choice. Okay? You're going to ruin their life. You're going to ruin their anniversary dinner that they planned, saved up for, fucking requested it from work. They're like, hey, I need the weekend off. We're going to go eat at a restaurant. You need the weekend off for what? You eat at a restaurant? They're like, yeah, it's my anniversary. I'm like, okay, cool. Take your fucking week off. We're going to go to Meadowood. We hear they got this beautiful bird and bread dish that we've been hearing about from our friend who went there last month, last week. And we want to go try it. Well, turns out the meat cook, he had a bad night. That doesn't fucking matter now, does it? The shit needs to be served correctly. And so, in those times, as a chef, you must motivate your team. And you cannot motivate the team if you don't sometimes shout the answers. Tell everyone what to do in a motherfucking forceful way. Here we go. Remember when the great Wanda Sykes teased us about the salmonella because we used to present that shit tableside? You're fucking right. Flavor Country writes in. One time Wanda Sykes came in and we showed her the bird. And now this bird is poached in bread, right? So it's not toasted. It doesn't look seared or anything. It's white. It's a white piece of... Go on my fucking Instagram page and look at that shit right now. I posted a little bit ago. But she was saying that it had salmonella. She was like, what are you fucking showing me right now? You're showing me this bird that's like, it's raw. People think it's raw. It's not raw. It was cooked. All right? It's just steamed. And so the steam rendered the bird white. And people don't think of a white chicken as cooked. Okay? Whatever. I can appreciate that. That's fine. But here we go. Here it is, bird and bread. There it is, bird and bread. That's what it was right there. And let me tell you what, that one right there wasn't baked in that piece of bread. That's an imposter chicken. We had to switch it out. You know what I mean? But again, the point is, these motherfuckers are showing up to your restaurant, paying all of this money, traveling all of this way, and you need to deliver, okay? So if I need to make believe that your chicken was cooked inside of this bread, like the one that I'm showing you right now, even though it's not, I cook it on another sheet tray, and I'll get into that in a second. I'm just saying, this whole chicken, this isn't your chicken. I shown this shit to fucking 3-4 other tables. You know? Did I have to go out there and sell it like it's your chicken? Fuck yeah, I did. And I did it. Would some say that's a lie? Yeah, I would say it's definitely a lie. I mean, it's not their bird, right? But again, it's all part of the fucking fairy tale. Okay? So, this little young bird, the rest of everybody else's birds, right? We would basically break the birds, take the frames, right, the bones, make stock from that, and then usually the jus or the sauce would end up made out of that stuff. And we would take the legs and thighs, season them with salt, and then lay them on the same dough, but not in boule form. These things were rolled out on sheet trays. So they were rolled out on sheet trays, and then you would take the leg and the crown, right? Both the breast put the breast in the middle, and then put the legs on the outside. Because obviously you can blow out legs all day, but if you blow out a breast, you're gonna taste it. It's just gonna be dry. Okay, you don't want that. You don't want that life. Once again, call in 510-463-1145. Also, if you've ordered a shirt off Facebook or Instagram, something happened, it's negative, okay? I have not received your payment for these shirts, so I'm dealing with that right now. I got to talk to Facebook, Instagram, and the people who who make the shirts for me. Some people haven't gotten their full orders. Other people have told me they haven't gotten shit or gotten their orders canceled. So I'm dealing with that right now. It's hard enough to have everything set up to do all this merchandise shit, and then when it doesn't go right, it kind of it's not the best. So I'm on it. I'm fixing it. Thank you for all of those of you who bought a shirt. And if you're going to buy anything in the future, don't buy it off of the Instagram shop or the Facebook shop. I'm going to cancel those shops. Suciotalk.com. Suciotalk.com/shop Sucio is where you can get all your merch. Merch helps me out. Helps me produce the show, helps me keep it free. So that's why I do that. But anyway, we're talking bird and bread. Bird and bread. So there it is. Baked in the sheet pans. As you know, I did a podcast with my boys over here, Chuy Cervantes and fucking Carlitos Garcia de la Cabada. It's cool to talk to them in the Damien space. That's probably the best part about the podcast. It's like where it takes you, where you get access to shit that people don't really get access to. Talk to them a little bit. It was a great podcast. I tried some different camera angles. I'm still working on camera angles. I want it to be the best that it can be. So just understand that it might be a little weird when you watch it. Meaning my, close-ups when it's not supposed to be close-up or whatever it is. But check that episode out. This episode 117. I got some sad news for all of you. I've lost most of the old Sucio Talk files. Okay? So most of the old Sucio Talk files are lost. I think I only got, Riley Redfern. Some of the last ones I did. And Chef Enrique from Sobremasa out in New York. So I got a couple. I found one that I did with Greg from Bell's, which I'm gonna shout out to him and see if he's down to let me drop that. The audio I thought was a little fucked up, and then I lost the audio, and I was like fucking looking for it. I found it. It's not bad at all. It's a good conversation between me and him, not video, audio. Still one of the last audio only podcasts you'll hear. So check that out. I'm going to drop that soon. 117. Been putting out some reels. I'm sure you guys have noticed. So, you know, we got to keep up with the times out here, man. Still looking for people that want to help Sucio Talk out. Gonna start a program, call it an executive producer program. You give me money, I make you executive producer of the show. What that means is you get your name on the show. You get to advertise a little bit, have your name on the show as an executive producer. You are helping out the show. You know, you're helping me deal with all the shit that I need just to have this podcast. It's a lot of shit. So I'm grateful that you guys are there for me. Thank you so much. Shout out to Brandon Miljon, who to this day has paid me $10 a month. Legitimate. Every one of you can also sign up for that on Spotify. It's a donation. Basically, it's monthly, or it could be a one-time, whatever you want. But the man has helped me a lot through that, and he posted some stuff that he sent me. We've been talking back and forth for a while, and it's nice to be able to help him through his hard times, right? Because this is what this show is about, is helping you through the hard times. Even though none of you motherfuckers come out here and listen to me live, nobody fucking calls in, all right? We're still here every Monday at 10, and it won't stop, okay? I see you, Rich, Chef Rich, out here. My man, call in 510-463-1145. Call in Sucio Talk. But the good thing is, guys, I can carry a conversation by my fucking self, all right? I don't need nobody. So I'm just going to talk to myself. It's going to be great. A lot of people have been asking me, how are you making these reels, David? I'm not telling you my goddamn secrets anymore, you know? Every time I tell you guys something, I feel like you guys using it against me. I see you out there. I posted a reel the other day, Theo Vaughn and Mike Rowe talking about garage doors opening and fucking wind blowing while you're trying to do your podcast, recording your podcast. A lot of stuff that can happen, a lot of variables, a lot of bad audio. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? These shows are not perfect by any means. I'm a mere mortal, and so are my guests. Thank for the continued support, regardless of the yard tool noises in the background, shitty audio, bad lighting, and poor editing. I'm learning every day. A true passion is doing the talking. But as we know, to achieve goals, we have to do things we don't want to do. Shout out to doing those things humbled and with abrasive grace. Still a student of myself and life every day. Just learning myself, guys, you know? Just fucking trying to figure it out over here. 510-463-1144. Call in to Sucio Talk. Sucio Talk podcast available on all podcast places, except for Apple Podcasts, which is it's causing me problems. I'm gonna be there for you guys, but you gotta help me out. I'm on WordPress as well, just newly on WordPress, okay? So check it out. WordPress. The podcast was out on Anchor, but now Anchor has turned into Spotify for podcasters, just so you know. So Spotify for podcasters is where all of the podcast production is being done. All right, that's where all the database is basically of all the podcasts that you need. You guys have been doing great listening to older episodes. I'm grateful for that. There's a lot of old episodes that don't get no love, man. Like Chef Daniel Verano over here with 21 plays. All right, my boy's a G. Okay, check out Chef Daniel Verano. That was episode number 16. I did that shit in Connecticut. It's the first time I ever ate on a podcast. Should be the last time I ate on a podcast because you could hear me chewing. It's disgusting. That's why I stopped. Stopped eating. That was a Connecticut tour. I did Rhode Island, guys, during that time. So doing the lives. Hey, Dave, why are you doing a live? Doing a live to keep it consistent, guys. I'm be in one place every Monday at 10 here with you on Sucio Talk to talk about what's going on out there in the world. Life's good other than that. I'm on the prowl for a chef job, okay? Looking to be executive chef. I'm talked to a few people about being CDC, all right? And here's what I'll say about being a chef de cuisine. It's kind of a fucking garbage position, okay? And here's why. Sometimes if you're CDC, you get this freedom, right? But the only freedom you get is to do the shit that the chef doesn't want to do, the executive chef, okay? Now, the executive chef, if you have one that lets you do whatever the fuck you want, that's great. That's a fucking real chef de cuisine. You obviously are talking to him and you're working with him, but he trusts you to do the job, right? Problem is nowadays, motherfuckers get hired, and then no one trusts you. It's like, why the fuck are you going to hire me for a job and then not trust me to do the job? I get that trust is built, but I feel like you're making a big step into saying, I trust you by giving someone that job. So let them fly and let them do what you know they're talented enough to do. Put your ego aside and let them rise. Because there's a lot of guys out here, a lot of chefs who have bad relationships with their ex-executive chefs or whoever that was, right? And one, takes a long time to get to be CDC executive chef for somebody, right? And then once you are, like they know you as a person who has had bad habits, right? They've had to train you, build you up from the bottom. But that's the difference between a good leader and a bad leader. A bad leader will always treat you like the way they met you. They'll never let you grow. A real leader treats you as you will be tomorrow, right? Or as you will be when he's done teaching you. He's treating you like an adult. And that's what you got to do out here to these kids, man. You can't be babying them. So if you're going to hire a CDC, make sure that you don't sell that person the dream. Sell them the reality. And then you'll get much more out of that young chef. Right? Because everybody just wants to do their own thing. That's it. And if more chefs open their fucking eyes as to all the talent they have within their kitchen, and instead of trying to put resources into doing more activations for their name, maybe it would be smart to do an activation for the name of the people that are actually doing the fucking work. And then after a while, you have this plethora of talent who has gone out and done stuff on their own, right? But you're part of it. But what do we see? We see everybody that's worked for everybody doing their own thing. And that's great. Go on. But I think we, as restaurants become more like harder and harder to open and get. It used to be, what, 100 grand in the bank, you could probably get a place opened pretty quick, But during these financial times, you need fucking $500,000, right? And then how are you going to compete with all these people opening restaurants, have endless amounts of money to put into the space to attract all these TikTok kids that essentially are the future of dining? No. They're the ones that are going out to eat all the time. They're the ones who are adventuring out and eating food at places that they would maybe normally not go to. I don't see motherfucking old people doing that. Or us in the industry, We do go out to eat, but I don't fucking look at TikTok to let me know where to go eat. But that's what these kids are following. That's what these people are following. Sometimes I ask people, how'd you hear about this place? And they say, oh, I saw it on TikTok. And I'm like, you don't go on Eater or any of that? They're like, what's Eater? I'm like, yes, okay. I thought I was fucked up. I know I'm fucked up. But you know what I'm trying to say. What to do with the future of food or the future of restaurant? Maybe we all got to do the Andy Dubrava and just do traveling kitchens, I don't know. Could just be that's what has to happen, Traveling kitchens, no real place to call home. Is this the future? Can you I think it's exciting. I'm down to go to these places because then the restaurants it's becoming less about the restaurant and more about the chef again, which I guess that just ebbs and flows as we go through the cooking history here of whatever this life is. Crazy. I don't know that they've appointed a new San Francisco Chronicle food critic. If anybody has any idea, let me know. 510-463-1145. 510-463-1145. If you ever just you ever just want to rant, just call the fucking number, leave a message, bro. I plays it next time. So yeah, looking for a chef job. Looking to take something real, not be a bitch ass CDC that just basically affords people a life and a vacation. I'm not here to step in so somebody can have a vacation. Or I guess not the only fucking reason, But I find that a lot of that CDC role is that, you're just a placeholder. You're holding the place of the food. You're not necessarily pushing it or making it better. I don't know. Is that the way to live? Who am I to tell you how to fucking live? I always wonder what you guys do while you listen to this show. Are you driving home in your cars? Are you working out? Are you sweating? Are you naked? Who listens to Susio talk in the shower? You dirty fucking bastards. Don't wash your ass while you listen to the show. Okay? There's way better podcasts for that. There you go. Making country sourdough loaves. Do you proof them overnight, chef? Is it a cold proof? Are you rolling them out to bake them in the morning? So it's fucking late over there, man. 22:36 over here. What time is it in your hometown, home village? 14 hours. All right. I'm digging that. 14 hours. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see. So I've never been to Coachella, but the cool thing about doing that festival is that I did Outside Lands last year. So it's going to be fun just to see what Coachella's about. Obviously, you hear a lot about what it's about. But, get to see it for myself. There's a lot of work to do. But I'm going to enjoy myself. Going to try to not enjoy myself too much. You know what I mean? But here we are. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Been making sandwiches for my wife with scrambled eggs, the Noma garum, and hella avocado on my own bread. There you go. It's a good way to live, man. I've been eating breakfast sandwiches on Parker House rolls, but slicing them sideways. So slice the Parker House sideways, toast both the top and the bottom, right? Build your sandwich. And then afterwards, you got little sliders. You just kind of tear them off. That's a good little morning time breakfast item. As I do this show, I've realized I think I got to fucking make this shit at an earlier time. All right, your boy's trying to wake up early and shit. Trying to live his life like a decent human being. Oh. I had a roommate that used to buy the frozen White Castle. The worst part about frozen White Castle sandwiches are the fact that the bun would get soggy in the microwave when you warmed it up. And it was always watery at the bottom. You can never heat them up correctly. I did like this at Sam's Club. Had this rib sandwich that was bomb. Love a rib sandwich from Sam's Club, man. Sam's Club is going out of style. Congealed. Oof. The worst sandwiches have the bread is too wet. When the bread gets wet, a whole sandwich is ruined. Tell me I'm wrong. All right? Tell me I'm wrong. But shout out to Josh W. Coming out to the Bay Area. His wife got an internship out here, so they're going to see about that life. Shout out to Chef's PSA, Andre Natera. My boy, I talked to him a little bit on the phone about podcasting, food podcasting, and all that. And it's cool to talk to somebody who knows what the fuck you're trying to say when you're talking about a food podcast and how you want that to be successful and fucking all this shit. So it's good to have a partner in crime. I don't know. I've never seen his face. Well, I've seen his face, but I've never seen him face to face or shook his hand or anything like that. But if I could, I'd definitely shake his hand because he helped me out a lot. And then we got Ileana Maisonette. Shout out to her. So she basically got roasted for having curse words in her cookbook. So then she basically posted and she was like, I don't give a fuck what you think of me. Like I ain't here to be nice. I'm motherfucking Puerto Rican. I got a motherfucking attitude. And her cookbook is called Diasporican. Diasporican. Um, she's all up in it, bro. She got 31,000 followers. She got fucking adobo products, all types of shit. She's doing it. So she's out here trying to sell her book, and people are just worried about, oh, you got a curse word in your book. It's like, you need to stop paying attention to that kind of shit. That's what you need to stop doing. So shout out to her for doing that. Shout out to Omi Hopper. Out there in Puerto Rico. She's on the show right now. I want to call it Cutthroat Kitchen, but I know that that's not it. She's in the show that Chef Tucker is also on. It's on Fox. Omi Hopper. So shout out to her. Last Chance Kitchen, I think it's called. I think Last Chance Kitchen is what they do in Last Chance Kitchen. What do they do? That's what they do in Top Chef when they give you the last chance to get back on the show before they eliminate you. Next Level Chef. That's what it is. Next Level Chef. I like the concept of that show. I'm not going to lie. It's, they're running around. There's 3 levels. The top level is the best kitchen. The middle level is shittier. Third level is the dungeon kitchen. They have less equipment and less privilege down there. And then there's this thing of ingredients that goes down by level. And people pick stuff off the thing, and then they got to cook it. And hopefully they can make it. So me still in the show. I think they're about to get to the end here. So I think we'll start to see who the winner is pretty damn soon. Pretty damn soon. If you haven't been to Mago Restaurant in Oakland, check it out. Also, shout out to my dad. Bought a shirt. My dad and my bro. Finally getting their gear ready. And then Tucker. Hey, TCP Provision. Old Tree Art. It is late as fuck for you to be on here, bro. What are you doing? Got some royalty out here on the show. Tyler Vorse's stepdad in the flesh. Robert Mung. The man. He's kept his pimp hand strong since 1974. He doesn't give a fuck. He should be sleeping right now. He's not. He's going to be like, why are you saying this about me? I haven't seen him since Tyler's wedding. It's been a while. Been a goddamn while. Andy Maitaki, what's up, bro? How we doing? Be sick if that was actually your last name. Maitaki. Named after the mushrooms. But talking to a lot of chefs about doing podcasts here coming up. We got Miguel Aguilera. He's a sous chef over at Yangban. He's about to get interviewed. Also, I got Kelly Puleo. Coming on, award-winning photographer, badass. Is going to be on the show as well. So I'll talk to her soon enough. Who knows? That's actually going to happen like this coming Monday. So this coming Monday, I'm going to have her on the show. Michael Aguilera, I'm not quite sure when. I'm going to Long Beach to do Colossus Bakery at some point. I got my boys out there. Brendan, who has a podcast studio, he's gonna let me rent out. So get that going. Colossus Bread out in Long Beach. There's a lot of shit going on in Long Beach. There's like a Korean chain of Korean restaurants down there. It's pretty good. I met the chef when he came to the dinner I did at Boathouse on the Bay. Shout out to Boathouse on the Bay. Owner John Morris invented the sports bar. I'll never stop saying that. Because motherfuckers need to know. Okay? So, this is a thing that I am going to ask you. Okay, so I worked at a 3 Michelin star restaurant. Okay. Andy Maitake, one day you will be on this motherfucking podcast. All right? Your dreams will come true because of me. No, that's fucked up the way to say that. But I appreciate you calling this podcast legendary. Because the shit is legendary. Legendary. Most people don't know that yet, Andy. Looks like you do. God bless you. Probably have good parents. Taught you what value looks like. Sucio talk is valuable. People need it. What do people need? They need it. 510-463-1145. Live every Monday at 10 p.m. for about an hour. You know, after service. Whoever's in their cars driving home from work, man. Probably had a shitty service. Maybe you had a good service. If you had a good service, this ain't for you. If you had a good service, fucking turn your music up, turn your windows down, blast the heat, chain smoke cigarettes on the way home. But for those of you who had a bad day, what you gonna do, brother? When a bad day comes for you, what are you going to do? Tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go home. You're going to snap the carrot one time. You're going to smoke a joint. You're going to go to sleep. And you're going to take care of it the next day. And that's the way you do it. It's that Northeast shit. By the way, I talked to motherfucking Sean Brock. Sean Brock hit me up, and he was like, yo, Sean Brock said, I will be on your podcast. He straight up, I got it. He DM'd me because I DM'd something about every cook has his soulmate, and he liked the post. And I said, hey, Chef, I'd love to have you on the show. He said, hey, whenever you're out this way and we're ready to do it, we'll do it. So you know what, Sean Brock, thank you. And that's the way it's going to be. One day, it's going to be like, oh, shit, he's got a panel discussion with some of the greatest chefs that ever touched the face of the earth. How did he do it? Who is he? Never give up. Never surrender. That's a movie. It's called Galaxy Quest. It's got my main man, Tim Allen, who's a great comedian, by the way. Better on Home Improvement, but he's a decent comedian. I don't mind him on that show. What were some sitcoms you watched growing up? I used to watch Growing Pains. Show me that smile again. That was a good show. Mike Seaver. I remember one day there was an episode about him working at a fast food place. And then he lost his job. And he didn't tell his parents that he lost his job. So what he would do was he would pull over on the side of the road every night before he got home, and he would rub cheeseburgers on his apron. Because if he had a dirty apron, then that means that he went to work. And I gotta say, that is ingenious. Imagine just being like, yeah, moving with your mom, be like, yeah, I'm working, Mom. She's like, all right, yeah, you don't have to pay rent, you save money. And you're not even going to work, dog. Damn. What kind of life is that? What are we doing? This podcast is off the top of my head, by the way. No premeditated material here. So, oh no, guys. Oh no, something coming across my desk right now. Oakland Bucket Church may file for bankruptcy after 330 lawsuits claim clergy sexual abuse. God damn, these motherfuckers don't stop. It's too much, man. Filing for bankruptcy. Damn, dog. Rape is expensive. Not the calmest way to put that, but that's the way I'm going to fucking put it, because this is Susio talk, all right? If you're looking for sympathy, move on, baby. Jesus. It's fucked up, man. All those dudes using the religion for that shit. For that shit right there. It's not right, man. It's not right. Hey, there we go. Oh, okay. People coming out here out of the woodwork. You guys could also send an email. You got B34NS over here cutting pentagrams into his loaves. Death metal sourdough loaves. It's pretty sick. Could be the new thing. All these fucking cryptic messages. Comments on this post have been limited. Oh, that's why you guys are getting roasted online, aren't you? Oh, yeah. He done got roasted. It's okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it is. No worries there. Anyway, still looking to do live shows. Live shows at some point here. Susio Talk Live. We'll figure that out. But for now, enjoy the lives. They're every Monday at 10. You can call in. Call the number. Ask a question. I'll answer it on the show. I'll also, you can do shout outs. Anything you want to say before I start monetizing the motherfucking airtime out here. All right? Take advantage of it. Now, while it's free and clear. Goddamn. Other food podcast that I see out here. And you know what? I got to say, man, I'm the only, maybe me and Chef's PSA, the only chef food podcast that shouts out other chef food podcasts. The rest of you out here, are you scared? Is that why you don't tell people about Susio Talk? Do you think that this podcast is better than your podcast? Because I would have to agree. I'm just fucking with you. But for real, Kimchi Kids Podcast, shout out to you. Bancon Podcast, shout out to you. Chef's PSA, shout out to you. I know more of them. Copper and Heat, shout out to you. Kitchen Gailey, shout out to you. All these best served podcasts, shout out to you. All these podcasts talk about the same shit I be talking about. Okay? So if you don't like it coming from me, get it from them. But all that matters is that you're supporting food podcasts. All right, you sons of bitches. Shit is hard work out here. So podcasts, live shows, breath work.
Battery 10%. Charge soon.
Oh, there we go. Did you guys hear that? That's my sunglasses talking to me. The batteries are 10%. I need to charge. So here we go. I think I'll just do a commercial now and record it on this while recording the podcast live. If you guys haven't noticed, I turned the ads back on the podcast. So if you're listening to the podcast, you'll hear something at the beginning. It's a self-read ad by Spotify. So Spotify for podcasts is where you can make your own podcast. And if you're thinking about making your own podcast and you need to rent a studio, let your boy know. You can rent a studio, do the podcast. I will film it for you, produce it for you. If anybody needs a podcast producer, let me know. All right? Again, it's something that I like to do. It's a hobby that I'd like to turn into a profession. But chef first and foremost. All right? So let's get that out of the way. If you guys know of any interesting opportunities out there for a young chef like myself to go and assert himself into greatness, you let me know. Damn right, we should get a stand-up thing going because chefs are funny as fuck. It's because we got no filter, man. Got to channel that shit. We're all just oppressed lizards. It's my new character. Okay? How do you like that? Oppressed lizard and millennial dinosaur. Tell me what you guys think about those characters. All right. I think I'm going to call it Monday nights en vivo a las 10 at 10 p.m. PST. Okay. Here we go. Queuing up the commercial. That way I have reels. I got reels, son. Reels. Sucio Talk Podcast. The best motherfucking food podcast there ever was. Check me out. SucioTalk.com for merch. Chef@SucioTalk.com if you need to email. 510-463-1145 every Monday at 10 p.m. live. If not on Monday, you can call, text, leave a message. Other than that, everybody, thank you for joining in. Those of you that did. Those of you that didn't, you're fucking missing out. We'll see you next week. All right, you sons of bitches. Everybody have a great day, great week. I love you. And just know when shit's getting hard, channel your inner Sucio, all right? And tell those motherfuckers to fuck off, okay?